close. So, hi everybody, I'm Lauren Cohen. I am an eXp commercial agent. I actually just moved my license over about 2 weeks ago. I was with Realty. I've been a realtor for about 14 years, or 13, I guess, and I'm every other realtor's best friend. Why? Because I don't do deals, I refer. So I'm a pretty good referrer, and I love referring clients to people. And that brings me to introduce, before I continue, to introduce you to Verdus, who is my co-chair. Verdus, would you like to say hello? Because he's one of my good referral partners, and he has been in the Ukraine for half the time that we've been talking, but now he's back, I think, in the Jacksonville area, right, Verdus?
Yes, I'm in Jacksonville, and tomorrow then I got some business in Missouri, and I go back to Jacksonville and prepare for our symposium in August. So
Cool.
I'm eXp commercial, concentrate in industrial and redevelopment.
Yeah, and he's a great resource, especially for North Central Florida. And Verdus has a great international presence, and he's actually going to be doing an event mainly focused on Ukrainians and helping them to get over to the US and invest in the US. And so we're collaborating on that as well. That's going to be in August. Not in eXp World, he's doing that separately, but it'll be a great event. And I also wanted to introduce you to my colleague and member of our committee, Keith Andrews. Keith, do you want to jump on stage, or do you just want to talk looking at me, or you want to swing around, or what?
Well, if I get on stage, then that means I have to stare at Rich, right?
No, you can stare at whoever you want. Don't let Rich throw you. You know, before Keith speaks, I'm going to say something kind of cool. So I've been with eXp for about, I don't know, 14 months. And I joined commercial a while ago as the committee chair for international investment. And the beauty that I have seen in this amazing, is that Nicole coming on stage right now? I think so. With the little beret? Nope, I'm wrong. The beauty that I've seen is that we that are like the committee leaders and everybody that gets on these Thursday calls for all the commercial leaders, it's an incredible wealth of experience, information, and support. And Keith is one of those guys. He didn't even know who I was. He heard me say hello and a few words about being an international lawyer, and he immediately invited me to come on his Monday calls and introduce myself and be a resource for other eXpers, which is really what I'm all about. So Keith, just say hello. And he volunteered to be on the committee. I love volunteer. He didn't have to be voluntold like Verdus. He volunteered. Not that Verdus wouldn't have volunteered, but he was voluntold. So if you don't know what that means, we can talk after. Keith, please say hello.
So I'm not an attorney, just a great smile. And I spent all my life either living overseas, back and forth, or doing business in telecommunications.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you. And also the slides aren't working.
Yeah, mine went yellow there.
Why are the slides? Is Billy in the room? Because I don't think the slides are working. Do you guys see just the leader slide? You don't see anything besides that, right?
Part 2, working with foreign investors.
Yeah, shoot. Okay, let's see. I don't know why it's not working. I'm moving it. Okay, let's try it here. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. And are any of my other committee members here? I don't think so. No. Okay, great. So I will reintroduce myself. And Keith, you're in Alabama, right?
Yes. I wonder why my microphone went yellow for a little.
Yeah, it went dead again. So Keith is like a how many year veteran of commercial real estate?
How about that? What do
Can
you think?
hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sort of.
16.
Okay. And
Second
Verdus,
career.
you've been in it for how long?
For 6 years.
Just 6? Wow, seems like a lot longer. Very knowledgeable for 6 years. That's great. So, and I do have a woman on my committee, Nicole Talgi from Houston, but somehow or other, she's not here. Something must have come up, and this is what happens in COVID times. So we're going to talk about, this is our agenda, and we're going to talk about investing in real estate across borders and the questions that you should ask cross-border investors. And I do have a little gift for all of you guys that's literally hot off the presses that I'll share in the chat went toward the end or so. This is obviously my cover page, helping you pave a path for your clients to invest, live, work, and play across borders. Because at the end of the day, we want to all work with more foreign investors and help them all to pave that path to global success, okay? This is my disclaimer, because as a lawyer, I have to be super careful that I'm not providing legal advice, which I am not. Let me just kind of reintroduce myself. So I'm Lauren Cohen. I'm originally from Toronto. I am now in South Florida. I am an international lawyer licensed in both Canada and the US, and I'm also with eXp Commercial. I am the chair of the International Investment Committee, with these lovely gentlemen are part of here at eXp. And it's been a fun ride. I am definitely the go-to when it comes to working with international investors, and I'm here to support all of you as you are working with them. Today is set up as a mastermind, meaning that, sorry, it's so busy here, meaning that we're trying to get everybody engaged, which is what I used to do in the small room when I was hosting these masterminds. And there used to be a lot of questions and a lot of interaction. And for some reason, when we're up on the stage, it's not as much interaction. However, I would welcome you guys to just speak out and share whatever you need to. So I'm sorry, not whatever you need to, but share your ideas and contribute. And so if anybody else in the audience would like to introduce themselves, anybody want to say hi? Tell us where you're from. I see Illy is from New York. That's good. It has it on your profile. Anybody else want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Mossman from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, my law license is in Tennessee.
Hey,
So
I'm
thanks
Rachel
for
from
joining
Canada.
us. Who else?
And hey, I'm Rachel from Canada. I'm on my Peloton and I'm listening.
Ah, that's hysterical. Rachel in Calgary?
Yeah, you got it. You know I'm always around looking to see
I
what
can't
you
hear you now, sweetie. Oh, yes, it's you, Rachel. I knew it was you. Now I see your name. Okay, got it. Yeah, and Richard is here from Pasadena. Richard is the chair of the multifamily, very popular multifamily committee at eXp Commercial. We see Marina from California. Okay, cool. Down the road in Gainesville, or it should be up the road since I'm in South Florida. So you're up the road. I don't know who's killing. Oh, you mean Keith is killing you. Okay, I got it. So always some interaction here with us commercial folk. Knoxville, Pasadena, anywhere else? Is there anywhere else in the room here?
Yes, Eva Kamal from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, Eva, I introduced you, even though you said you were, I introduced you because I said we were in touch this morning. I introduced you to two commercial lenders that might be able to help your client, hopefully. How about you, Glennis? Where are you
one
from?
of them is working on it as we speak, and
Awesome.
very hopeful, yes.
Good. I tell
Yeah.
you, I got good connections. That's what I do.
Yes, thank God for you. You know, now I'm just hoping that deal is not gone. I wish I'd found you before.
That's what everybody says. And that's, you know, is Linda in the room?
I'm in the room
Linda.
from Ohio.
Hi, I've just talked to some people that were investing in Ohio yesterday. Lots of Canadians investing in Ohio, for sure, sure, sure.
It's a good place to get started.
It definitely is, and I have clients that have huge investment portfolios there. So let me see, is Linda in the room? No, Linda's not here. Linda referred a client to me last night who's investing in Ohio.
I am in the room, Lauren.
You are?
Yeah, you're talking to me.
Wait a minute. Why don't I see you on my thing? Hold on a minute. What's going on?
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Oh, now I
So,
see. Okay, hi. Hi.
Hi. So,
Linda.
yeah.
Linda, do me a favor, because I wanted to send a thank you to
Okay,
your lucky client,
everybody,
so please do send me
8:05.
his contact info, okay?
Go ahead and get
I
started.
will
Thank
do
you,
so.
everyone,
Yes.
for
All
being.
right, so that's what I do. And as Linda will tell you, probably, I think her client was pretty happy with the scope of information that I shared with him. And that's really who I'm here to serve, is you guys, helping you to make your clients more comfortable so you can close more deals, right? And my team is here to support you. Thank you. Thank you. Amir, you want to come on stage? Amir is like really excited. He loves coming on stage. He's one of my people, and he's also on our committee. And it's 3:15 a.m. So give him a hand, okay? Because he's up here, committed to eXp. He is my first recruit in Australia. And you'll hear him talk, and you'll know right away that that is definitely where he's from. And he is just a wealth of information and energy. And thank you for coming. Would you like to say hi?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's 3:15 a.m.
Commitment,
So, yes.
guys. No excuses.
Look, that's true. But I think the key thing is balance. And I mean, Lauren was also telling me about her international travels and her international speaking. And it's not so much about working hard, it's about working smart. So if you treat this business as a shift work business, where you get to be in your pajamas on the world stage, then isn't that part of our dream, really? I know it was one of mine. The worst thing was waking up and being at a school not prepared for an exam. But if this is really your passion and real estate is something that affects all of us, then it doesn't matter where you are, you can speak confidently. So look, the point is, and Lauren was touching on this a bit earlier, that if you look at the way the world is broken up with the common basis of what everybody's needs are, shelter's always going to be, and shelter, health, and food are always going to be at the top of the requests, or the bottom of the pyramid, if you think of it that way.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the international part of it, is that we can now impact so many people around the world in one of their most important needs.
Well, thank you for being up. Thank you for your commitment, and thank you for being a part of the world. It's definitely been fun getting to know you and learning about Australia and seeing Australia live. So if you guys want an experience, connect with Amir on Workplace, and he'll do a Zoom and show you. It's so beautiful over there. God willing, one day we'll get over there. Anyway, let's get started. There's some housekeeping items here. I'm not going to review them. I'm sure most of you know how to use the world, and it's on the screen. And if you have any questions, just post them in the chat, and I hope somebody will answer them. Sorry, I don't mean to be smart, but anyway. All right, so these are, and I can barely see them, but because my screen is super little in front of me, but these are the 8 steps to investing across borders. Now, before I go on, I'm going to give you guys my 2 gifts, okay? You guys are really gonna love these, I'm telling you, if you don't have them already. And Linda, you can share them, especially the second one with Menachem. Wait, let's see, it's not going. Nope, it's not going. I don't know, it should go. There, okay. So those are 2 gifts for you guys. The first one is the top. Actually, they ended up showing up together. So let me resend them separately so you can actually download them. I just created this. It's literally hot off the press. Top 10 questions to ask foreign investors so that you know who you're dealing with and how to deal with them. Okay, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this, and really it will bring benefit to you and help you to communicate with foreign investor clients. Also help you to know when you need to talk to me or my team. Okay, and yes, I am a lawyer, but we're not giving you legal advice here. We're just giving you some general information. This second item is a gift that some of you have already downloaded. It's a real estate investing across borders ebook. And if you use the code REI for free, you'll get access to that at no cost, okay? And I'll put just the link in because it seems like for some reason it's calling it grouping the things together. So I'll put just the link somehow or other, maybe. There we go. Not letting me do it. So strange. Okay, should work now. Hopefully that works. Okay, guys? So if you have any questions, you feel free to shoot them out, shout them out. I've known Barbara for a lot of time. She's asked me many questions over time and happy to answer any questions you have. I'm not a formal type of facilitator. I'd rather this be a little informal. So we all know location is the #1 most important aspect of investing in real estate, no matter where you're investing, but it becomes that much more important when you're investing across borders, because you want to know if you are investing somewhere where you want to live, if you're investing somewhere just where you want to invest. You know, Ohio, purposes of investing in Ohio are going to be completely different than purposes of investing in South Florida, completely different than investing in Australia, completely different than investing in California. You're definitely not going to get deals in California, but you're going to get upside, right? I mean, I say definitely, and I take that back because it's possible that you can if you're working with the right team and the right realtor. And Rich Enderlin, for example, has some great opportunities, and so do some of our team members in the multifamily space all over the country. But the reality is that if you're looking at middle market locations such as, you know, Memphis and Atlanta, maybe not as much Atlanta, but Ohio, certainly, Indianapolis, as I said, Memphis, some parts of North Carolina, there's just a lot of opportunity for continuous ongoing cash flow at a low buy-in. So you need to look at what you're planning to do and how that looks. What are your investment goals, short-term and long-term? Do you want a visa? That's going to be another question we're going to ask a little later. How do those goals look, and how are you going to achieve them? And if you want a visa, you need to start earlier in terms of setting up your structure properly with that end goal in mind. You can't start at the 11th hour and say, oh, I want a visa, but I set up this and it doesn't work for a visa, or I set up that and it's a flipping business or whatever. So we have to talk about how to create a strategy that's designed to achieve your short and long-term goals. We all know there's a billion different types of property types, which I think I have a slide about later. And, you know, land, vacant land, multifamily, single family, retail, industrial. What are you investing in, and how is that going to help you achieve your short and long-term goals? What is your U.S. entity structure? Is it a limited partnership, a corporation, an LLC? How does that all look? Do you want to invest alone or with partners? This could be impacted by your need to access financing, for example, as Eva may find out, then, you know, if they have a partner, it's going to impact their financing abilities, because obviously if there's one partner that has, for example, coming in from another country and they have a lot of experience. Oh, you can't retrieve the 10 questions? That's weird.
No, I'm clicking on the link and it's purple and it says like click here to get your 10 questions, and it doesn't.
Oh, it keeps spinning. Okay, I'm going to tell them. Thank you for letting me know. I'll tell them that it keeps spinning. Let me tell them right now, because they just did this. It worked yesterday, but okay. Just please hold on to that link and it will work. I promise it will. Or you can always email me as well and I'll share that with you, okay? On Workplace. Sorry about that. Anybody else have any questions before I continue? No? Okay. How do you purchase properties? Do you want to purchase them outright in the clear? Do you want to do subject tos? Are they available as subject tos? Do you want to do the BRRRR method? What are the other options for investing? Are there immigration considerations? This is, as I said at the beginning, is going to impact every aspect of what you're doing, because immigration considerations are going to dictate how you invest and the structure that you set up. And then how to choose your team members. That's the single most important element of investing across borders. And when you're a realtor representing these clients, you have to be very careful not to extend your reach beyond your role. And don't try to play lawyer. Always say to them, you know, stay in your lane, you stay in your lane. I'm going to get you a great lawyer. I'm going to get you a great accountant. I can't tell you and Amir can attest to this because we've talked about it, cross-border tax issues, Australia to the US. Do I answer any questions?
No, you don't. You refer.
Exactly. That's what I do, refer. And if I don't, and if I know the answer, great. And if I don't, I know how to get it. And that's the important thing, I think, for all of us to understand, that nobody expects you to be a jack of all trades. And if they expect you to, it's like that a lot of people say, well, can't you help me with my traffic ticket? No, that's for the traffic ticket guys, you know? Well, can't you help my friend with his litigation? Nope, I don't go to court. Okay, I handle what I handle. I handle international investors, investing internationally, getting visas, both in Canada and the US, and investing into countries all over the world. So, you know, there's only so much that we can be experts in, okay? So make sure that you're an expert in what you're an expert in, which is probably what you need most to be an expert in. Handling what? Keith, what? Handling what? This is a trick question. Keith is going to blame his microphone, but handling the real estate transaction, making sure it closes. I'm here to support you. eXp is here to support you, but at the end of the day, that's your job. Nicole, come on stage, please, because I need you. Do you know how to come on stage, babe? Does she hear me? You there? All right, well, I'm going to put it in the chat. So Nicole is my woman of experience on our panel. She is she's a very experienced commercial agent out of the Houston area, and we have been trying to work together, I'll say, since literally I started at eXp. She was one of the first people to welcome me, and she runs a mastermind, Commercial Women in Real Estate, and she asked me to speak at her mastermind, and now she's on our panel. So thank you for joining us, Nicole. If you can hear me, please come on stage when you get a moment, okay? All right. Do we have any questions so far? This is not very interactive, guys. Keith, Amir, Verdus, let's go. Come on. Questions, solutions, ideas?
How does one start as a newbie?
Come to me. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually kind of the truth. I am creating a course for realtors to help you really to go through this process. The best place to start is at those 10 questions, which eventually I will be sharing with you, God willing. It will be ready at some point soon. So that's the best place to start, is to ask those questions. Once you get the answers to those questions, now, who asked me, where do you start?
I did. I'm Lisa. I'm on Long Island in New York, and
Hi, Lisa, on Long Island in New York. I'll be in New York July 3rd, 13th, 14th, something like that. So maybe we can connect.
Keep me posted. I definitely want to spend time and get to know you a little bit better. I have property.
I only charge $4.50 an hour. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Had to do
I'm a New Yorker. That's not unlikely.
That's nothing, right?
Yes.
I know. It's been like 2.5 years since I was in the city. I'm really looking forward to it. Lisa, so are you asking where you start in terms of working on the commercial side, or are you asking where, and Nicole, please come up on stage, okay? Are you asking in terms of the commercial side, or are you asking in terms of working with the foreign national?
Well, it's kind of like in between. I am transitioning and doing a little bit of commercial, but what I want to do is I want to get more involved with Puerto Rico. And I know they're not a state, but I'm not 100% sure how their real estate, should I get a real estate license in Puerto Rico? I do own a house in Puerto Rico by inheritance, and I'm just a little bit curious to know a little bit more how I can get started.
Right. So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
For Puerto Rico, it's just like a contiguous United States, so you'll have a license. So you just have to look at the pre-license requirements and take the test if required. There's multiple people in Florida have license in Puerto Rico as well as Florida.
Great, thank you. I didn't know.
Yeah, and in terms of like your own investments and stuff, because it's not like you don't need a visa to invest there. You don't need a visa to come from there to here. So it's not really a foreign investor, even though it's a territory. So it's not, it's treated a little differently.
Gotcha.
Okay, if you want help in terms of going and working with other people from other countries, which I'm sure you have in Long Island, I mean, there's tons of people from everywhere. That's more of the focus of this, is how do you work with them? Now, when you're working with them, so a lot of people say, well, what do I ask them? You know, I run a clubhouse room every other Sunday, and one woman, every time she comes in, she asks, well, what do I ask them? And that's why I created the top 10 questions, because those are the questions. And eventually, I promise you guys, it will work, okay? I'm glad it happened today, because tomorrow I'm speaking in front of 750 realtors. So hopefully the top 10 will be downloading properly. But you'll all get that, okay? And I apologize, but I'm glad it's my friends and family here at eXp. But the point is that, you know, it's a confusing and a little bit delicate potential situation, because you don't want to say, oh, where are you from? Although sometimes it's obvious, like with Amir, you know he's not born here. He has an accent. But sometimes when you ask that question, people are insulted, right? So it's all about building that rapport. That's the most important part of any of our relationships, right?
Yes.
Well, a great way of asking where you're from, per se, if you don't want to do anything that might be negative.
I have a
Nicole?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. The reason why I wanted to join this this class was because I have a couple of people from South America, from Colombia to be specific, that are interested right now in investing here in the U.S. And I have no idea. I don't know how to start, you know, what to do. So the 10 questions would be great. But
Okay.
since we don't have that yet, is there a particular type of visa that they need for them to
Yeah,
invest
yeah.
here?
This is, yeah. So I'm going to put a few things in the chat, okay? And I'm going to, hopefully they'll all come through, but you know, the chat is causing me some trouble. And you can always also, of course, reach out to me on Workplace.
And
I
then
think I'm
someone
just,
in particular, she, I was talking with her last week, and she mentioned that the U.S. is providing foreigners some type of incentives for them to invest here in the U.S. So, I mean, again, I have no clue. I was like, oh, great. Yes, I'm going to look into it. So
right.
it's something new. So I'm not quite sure.
I don't know about that, and about incentives for foreigners to invest here. If you find out about it, I'd love to know, but I certainly don't know. So
That would be a great question for a CPA or some sort of tax attorney.
I think that's related to immigration. For Chinese investors, a lot of them are interested in the to get a green card here.
There is no incentives to bring them in, though. That's what I do every day, and I don't know of any. That's why I'm saying if somebody knows about that, I'm happy to hear about it, but I don't know anything about it. And I'm having trouble with my chat. It just seems to be pasting the chat over for some strange reason, so I apologize for that. Does anybody know how to delete the whole chat and just start over again? Oh, I think I just did it. So I'm going to put my 4 websites in the chat, okay? And that's what I do. I am an immigration concierge, and that's what I do. So I've been working with people on EB-5s and E-2s, and we're going to go through the different visas a little bit on this, in this mastermind, let's call it. It's challenging to understand all the visas yourselves, and that's why I'm here to help you. And there's also a link, here's a link to my book on the subject as well that you guys can grab, which talks about all of the business visas. I did EB-5 for many, many years, and I have some EB-5 clients right now. So let's skip over to that slide, because I think that is going to be the most important slide. This is, can you guys even see this from the audience?
Yes.
Okay, this slide is another download that we're building. I will be happy to share it with you guys if you ask. This talks about all of the main business visas. Oops, why did that happen? Okay, let's go back. The main visas that we focus on are the E2, the E1, and the EB5. The L1 a little bit less, but you're not going to really buy much real estate and qualify for an L1, okay? The E2 is the main visa that's available. Now, for your clients, Glenn is from Colombia. Colombia is becoming a hotbed because they want to get out. So I have had more Colombian intakes in the past 3 weeks than I've had in the past 3 years, I think. Okay. And
Yeah.
Colombia, fortunately, has access to the E2 visa. The E2 is a treaty-based investor visa. It's based on a substantial investment in a non-marginal business. Okay. So what does that mean? It's all discretionary. There's a problem because we don't exactly know what the amount is. Whereas in EB5, we know it's 900,000 or 1.8 million. In E2, it's just a substantial investment in a non-marginal business. Substantiality, if you're investing in real estate, is determined based on, why is my little guy not stopping? Okay. Substantiality is determined based on the industry. So in real estate, you're going to have to invest that much more. My signature program is called How to Immigrate Through Real Estate, but you're going to have to invest that much more in order to potentially qualify for a visa through real estate investing. Why? Because you're getting a tangible asset as a result of your investment. What does the government want to see? That your investment is at risk. Okay, so it's not at risk as much if you're investing in real estate. I just put in the chat a link to my webinar on how to immigrate through real estate. It's an evergreen webinar, which you guys can access. And again, if any of these links don't work, I'm happy to share them with you on Workplace. But that will talk to you about how you can use real estate to qualify for an E2 visa. An E2 is a renewable 5-year visa. It's not a green card path, though. But for a lot of people, it's a great way to continuously access the US without a residency requirement and without necessarily even becoming a US taxpayer. So I love E2s, but they're not available to everybody. They're not available to Chinese. So you know what happens? Chinese investor, Brazilian investor, Venezuelan investor buys citizenship in Grenada or Turkey or Moldova, and then they get access to an E2 through that channel. So in other words, it's called citizenship by investment, and they buy a residency in one of those countries that has that visa, which is based on a treaty with the US. Is this clear or muddy? Tell me, please.
Clear.
Quick question on that one, Lauren.
Yeah.
On some of these Coming to America drop downs, there's several different things listed. Are these all ands? So do you need
Most
this?
of them are
this,
ands,
this?
yes.
Thank you.
So the E2 is based on investment. The E1 is based on trade, meaning that you need to have a substantial amount of trade with your home country. Let's say you're setting up a real estate business here and you have a real estate business in Canada and you're trading in goods or services. Goods or services, that could be that you're getting coach from a Canadian, you're buying product, you're selling product, you're selling, website design, you're doing marketing, anything that's across the borders that you're buying and selling between your home country and the US. And it doesn't have to be your company. It can be Joe's company or Fred's company or a company you happen to buy product from in Canada that you're going to continue to buy product from when you're in the US, right? You can then qualify for a treaty trader visa, which is an E1. And that has to be that you have that for all of your foreign trade, at least 50% of that is with your home country. Dee, do you want to speak up? Because I see you trying to type.
No, I'll just type.
Anybody else have any questions? This is a confusing slide, but it And I tried to actually eliminate some of the visas, because the EB1C and the EB1A are specific to, and so is the O1, specific to particular circumstances, like extraordinary ability, and that there's also a national interest waiver. But it's, you guys don't need to know all of this. All you need to know, and I'm going to put one more link in the chat. I'm going to put a link to the list of treaty countries. Okay, and even I don't know them all, because some of these countries are tiny little countries that you hear of like once in a blue moon, and they're like, is blah, 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 a treaty country? I'm like, let me check. So I have it on my phone all the time. So it's the top link on my phone of the websites.
So Lauren, I've got
My
a
last
specific question.
So I will just throw this question. Does the certification offered by NAR, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Yeah, exactly, Keith. Thank you.
The National Association of Realtors that I am a member of, I would think that most people in this room are, offer a certification called the Certified International Property Specialist Certification. Does that mean anything to you in the business, or is that just a waste of money?
I don't think it's a waste of money. I think it's a great tool, but it doesn't help you. It helps you to be more appealing to foreign investors, but I don't think it helps you be able to serve them better necessarily. You just understand how to work with them, and but it has nothing to do with providing them with the scope of services that we're talking about here. I definitely don't think it's a waste of money. I think it's a very good designation.
And I also asked about the Virgin Islands. Is there anybody, I know eXp is not there. Do you have
I'm sorry, about the what?
U.S. Virgin Islands? Doing business there. If eXp is not there yet, do you have any opinion, or like someone wanted to do some work in Puerto Rico? Is any?
Well, I'm not quite understanding the question. The U.S. Virgin Islands are considered a U.S. territory, so you can definitely work with people from there here. They don't have to get a visa.
I think his question is about licensure in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about the licensure issues. That's not our focus here. That would be at the eXp corporate.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I've reached out to the local real estate association. I'm just was curious if you had any experience doing business in the Virgin Islands, and is there anything that I should be aware of or keep my eye out that makes it different than a normal U.S. territory?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I could answer a little bit on that, actually. My husband is from the Virgin Islands, and a couple of years I was looking to go and do some development there. Some of it is U.S. territory, and then, of course, some of it is British territory. So if you decide to do real estate there, there's the beauty of being able to do both. If you, however, eXp is not set up there yet. So if you were to have your licensure there, then the only laws that you would have to pay attention to is A, you would have to work with a different brokerage, but B, could you do that and still be licensed and work for eXp where you're currently located? Those were questions that at that time did not allow us to be able to recruit, as we also had an agent move there. Then they were no longer with eXp. They had moved to a different brokerage. The beauty or the differences are there are a few real estate differences there. However, relating to eXp and to foreign or international, where that would relate along with what Lauren is talking about is if you moved to the Virgin Islands and you dealt with those that were British Virgin Islands versus US. US is all United States, just like the states here on the mainland.
That's right.
Or Hawaii. It's really just like interacting just like Hawaii. Hawaii is a little bit different than the mainland. The United States Virgin Islands is somewhat different, and I'm very much looking forward to bringing on some brokerages over there as eXp moves into that territory. But your international or your foreign involvement would be those that are on the British Virgin Islands.
Thank you. I'm flying there in September, and I've talked to a few people about opening up an eXp, opening eXp to the Virgin Islands. I'd be interested to hear more about the person who was with and then moved there and then left. But that could be a separate conversation because I think I'm holding up the.
Thanks. Yeah, unfortunately, in this particular forum, we're talking about, working with foreign investors, how to facilitate that. So licensure issues are definitely challenging, and I apologize, but that's not in the scope of this. So thanks for the answer, Nicole. And I think that Keith just put some good information about the CIPS in the chat, and I agree 100% with him. So I don't have my CIPS, but then again, I am an international lawyer, so I didn't do the CIPS. So I think that the 3 years of law school and multiple state and international exams probably qualify me to help, I hope, at this point. So anyway, I make light of it, but it wasn't easy.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, so actually, these are the top 10 questions that you're going to be able to download, okay? And I can't even see them. They're so small on here. Let's see if I can make this any bigger, and it's not letting me, so I apologize. But these are the top 10 questions. How much money do you have to invest? Do you plan to invest in cash, or will you need financing? Great example of New Zealand buying in Australia. eXp is not in New Zealand. Okay, right. And New Zealand actually also is an E2 country, as is Australia. But New Zealand is the newest E2 country. I think they only came in 2 years ago. Where do you wish to invest? Will it be a single location or more than one? Okay. Do you want to buy multifamily, single family? What type? Have you considered? Whoops, sorry. Have you considered tax issues? Do them have not? This is a very, very big deal because everybody, oh, great, awesome, Flora, thank you. I think they fixed it. They're pretty fast, my tech team. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome, that's good, I'm glad it works. Let's see, back to this. What are your plans in terms of investing and what is your motivation? Do you want to buy a vacation or retirement home or build an investment portfolio? Is it possible that a visa is in your future? Do you own a home currently or have assets in your home that you wish to protect? Tell me about how that looks so we can figure out the best way to protect your assets and make sure we set up the right structure. Now, one of the most common problems that happens is that people, especially from Canada, I can say this because I'm Canadian, think, oh, I can just buy a property in Florida or wherever and just buy it in my name. Great. But if you start renting that property out and you have, I think I just said that in the Canadian way of saying out. Okay, so if you rent that property out and you get cash flow coming in, guess what? You have to claim that. Guess what? If you take that in your personal name, they're going to take most of it at the Canada Revenue Agency if they're remaining a Canadian resident. And even if they're not, and they're looking for a visa, they should be set up with the right structure. That's why it's so important to come to me at the beginning, because when you come to me at the beginning, you can set up that structure so that you're ready when it's time to do whatever is your next step or to pay taxes. For example, I work with cross-border tax advisors that handle pretty much every country, okay? And I have a Canadian cross-border tax advisor on my team. I wonder why, right, Rachel? If you're still here. Do you plan to buy a business in the US or expand your foreign business? Or do you plan to use real estate as the path to a visa? Do you plan to invest alone or with partners? And I think I mentioned earlier, and I'm sorry if I didn't continue it well. Oh my gosh, you have it's crazy. Sometimes investing with a partner allows you access to financing. And a lot of people will do that for their first couple of deals or joint venture with somebody who's already done a bunch of deals. And they'll also learn that the method of investment from that person. And that can be a really good resource for you as well. And one thing to really remember is foreign nationals tend to be very, very loyal. How many of us in this room have worked with foreigners before? Anybody want to say? All right, Verdus, tell us, do they shop around?
If you establish a relationship with them, they want you, select you as their real estate professional. You have a client for life until you prove
until you mess
unworthy.
up.
You got messed up pretty bad too. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you.
It's true.
So they have tremendous loyalty and trust in you once this, but sometimes trust is hard to gain. So you have to really, you need to know what you're talking about when you approach these people. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, you just, that's the reason you come with a team of
That's
people and you
right.
refer it. Otherwise, you're going to lose a business and you're just going
And
to
your
be really frustrated.
credibility. And then you're done. And one thing that I'll say to you, Glennis, I don't know if you're Colombian and that's why you're having so many Colombians come to you, or perhaps you speak Spanish, which is awesome. But when you have one, you get many more. Okay, I'm working with a family right now. I just referred them to a colleague here to show a property that I saw. This colleague, I've been trying to bring him into eXp for a while. Maybe this will be the icing. I hope so. It's his listing. So this family, there are 3 siblings and parents, but all the siblings are over 21. So basically there's 4 families looking to get a visa here, right? And those 4 families are going to refer another 4 and another 4 and another 4, and it magnifies because it's just like anything. People ask and then you get a referral. That's why I'm the Canadian whisperer, because Canadians talk about me. Today I have a call with 700 Canadian investors that are looking to invest across borders at 4:30. Now, how many of them will do it? I don't know, but it's because somebody told somebody told somebody, and that's what happens with these foreign nationals. Okay. Back to the 10 questions. You have a business plan and or a strategic plan, and it's critical to have one. And if they don't, then we'll work with them on it. Have you ever consulted with or financial and legal advisors? Because most of them haven't. They just kind of go about it haphazardly and say, I want to invest. I don't know what I'm investing in. I just want to buy a property in Arizona or Florida or whatever, right? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. I don't care. Where are you from, and do you have any other passports? Why is that important? Verdus, do you know?
Can affect your, when you start doing the background checks through the State Department, it can affect your getting the visa and issuance of the passport. Could be a red flag depending on which country you have that passport to.
That's part of it. And the other part is that if they don't qualify for an E2, like let's go back to Brazil. A lot of Brazilians have Italian heritage or maybe Spanish heritage. Some even have Polish heritage. So they could get those passports from their heritage and be able to qualify through that citizenship. Okay, now, oddly enough, as of 3 years ago, Israel is an E2 country. So now having an Israeli passport is good. Whereas before it used to be like, there was no option really for Israelis. And now there's many more options. So people are suddenly coveting the Israeli passport. Okay, maybe not in the past 2 weeks, but we won't go there. Are you planning to apply for an immigration visa? Do you want to live in the US? Now, one thing to also remember is getting a non-immigrant visa, which is what the E2 does not require residency. So you can very easily, not easily, but you can get a visa and live wherever. So a lot of people, I even have a lawyer colleague who's from Canada who has an E2 visa. He runs a law firm in upstate New York, and he's been in Spain since COVID started. And he can do that because he doesn't have a residency requirement attached to a visa. It's a beautiful thing. So basically for $25,000, you're buying yourself freedom. And for a lot of people from these war-torn countries or these COVID-infested countries like Mexico and Colombia, and where they're challenged and you don't know what's going to happen the next day, you put this in your pocket as an insurance policy. And that's what I love the most, is having that freedom and flexibility. And I'm sorry, I'm not monitoring the chat. So if somebody asked any questions.
I was about to ask, I'm sorry. I got kicked out of the world of this, and I'm going back in, and now I'm able to see the top questions. Can you go back to 1 through 5? I can take a picture really quickly.
Well, you're going to be able to download it. Somebody said, Flora said the download is working.
Okay.
You want me to put it back in the chat again?
Yes, would you please? Thank you.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. And I honestly created this download like literally last week. Why? Because a bunch of people were kind of asking about this in Clubhouse in last week's in the shareholder summit. So I said, okay, let's create something for realtors. Okay, so make sure you can download this and let me know. You still can't download it, Irma?
I'm gonna try again right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if not, just save it because it definitely will work. I mean, I think they probably fixed it. They're very good to me. If you ever
If I
need
can
a
ask a
meeting,
quick
tech
question there,
people, let me
Lauren.
know. Pardon?
Lauren, if I can ask you a quick question,
Yes.
it's really what's in it for me. So from an eXp perspective, when I'm approaching a foreign buyer, that's something that I talk to as a territory and a licensing thing if I'm trying to attract somebody from a local realtor. So one of our largest realtors would be, say, Ray White. If I was talking to a Ray White agent to say to them, why should you leave your brokerage and come through to eXp Global, one of the strings to my bow is that a Ray White may have 2, 3, or even 4 suburbs that they're allowed to work in Sydney, but they're not allowed to take somebody else's territory. eXp is cross-territory, cross-country, and your mobile office means your support, admin, and legal team are specialists in the country that you're investing in and investing from. So this is a great string to our bow. How do you
Don't
feel
you
about
guys
that, Lauren?
want this guy on your team? Sorry, he's mine. I want to tell you that Amir came in, what, 3 weeks ago, Amir? A month?
6 weeks, I think now.
Oh my God. And I seriously, it's just, he knows the company better than a lot of us that have been here for over a year. And he's just walking the walk and talking the talk. And he's just a very genuine person. So thank you. And it's true. It is, the fact that eXp has this international presence is what attracted me. And it's certainly what continues to allow me to tick. And I will tell you, a 25,000 investment does not give you access to any any visa. Never. Sorry, Illy, if you 25,000. That's the expense of the fees for the court. I apologize. I did say 25,000. My apologies. For legal, business plan, filing, everything like that, structure, corporate is generally you're looking at about 25 to 30,000. Okay. Well, Nicole, you have to talk to Amir. He'll sell your Australian properties.
Absolutely. Need to. Nice to meet you. Hey, I do want to share the great thing about.
I love it. Glennis, make sure you reach out to me on Workplace to help you with those Colombians, okay? I just got another eXp referral of a Colombian this morning as well. So we're here to serve you.
I wanted to share with everyone what the blessing of having Lauren Cohen is here that all of you can utilize when you are recruiting. Is that in order to be able to bring, a lot of times I'm called by different investors in different countries that are considering purchasing something here and considering coming over. And if there are issues and constraints, we do have someone that works within us, that is one of us, that can help move them in the right direction if they're wanting to buy. There was a particular building in California, and it was only about 640 million. Sadly, the entire thing dissolved as quickly as it started, sadly, due to COVID and immediate lockdown. But that was our next step, was to move them on to Lauren to see how they could access and work their visa to be able to be in the country that they're in. I believe they were in South Korea, and then also come here part of the year. And they had a few buildings that they wanted to purchase. One of my colleagues with a hedge fund was planning to bridge the gap of their loan that they needed on that 640 million. So the great thing is that a lot of real estate companies, commercial real estate companies as well that you work with, they don't have someone that is as seasoned as Lauren as what to do with the visa. If you have an international investor that is wanting to purchase here that may need a visa along with it. Though Lauren does not work directly for eXp, it's great having her as an independent. And it will help you to be able to move the sale of that property, whether you're buying or selling, whichever side that you're on, because you do have access to Lauren. So that is a great way to be able to recruit to say, hey, we have all kinds of attorneys that are independent that work with eXp that can help you be able to close that deal because whatever it is that you may need. And I was at that point last March where we thought we were going to need Lauren for that particular project. I do hope to see them come back. But anyway, so those are incredible tools that we have at eXp that I don't see at a lot of other agencies.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Nicole, for edifying me. I think that the main difference is that even if those resources exist at other agencies, you don't have access to them. And because eXp is collaborative and we're all in it together, you do have access to me. And I'm happy to answer questions in chat and, you know, spend a few minutes with you. I do charge for client consultations, but, you know, that's because I'm actually giving them guidance and advice. But I can definitely here to support you in all of your endeavors and help you to close more deals. That's my goal. And here's my bio. I guess we're at the end of my little presentation. So you can reach me, as I said in Workplace, you can reach me through my, here, I'm gonna put my Easy Card in here too, Easy Card. And this has all of my contact info in it, okay?